Hello, I hope everybody's doing okay. I just wanted to go through the answers to last week's quiz and make sure that you got the ideas correctly. The first few questions all involved coming up with values of piecewise functions, and the important thing about that is you've got to plug into the correct formula. So when it says f of 3, since 3 is less than 5, you go to the top formula, and we take 3 times 3 minus 2, you get 7. When it says f of 5, the middle function is the one that has equal to by 5, so I've got to take 5 squared, and my answer is 25. On the g ones, the first one says g of negative 5. Negative 5 is less than negative 2, and that's why what we have to do here is take 2 times negative 5, we get an answer of negative 10. And finally, when you have g of negative 1, negative 1 is greater than negative 2, so I go to the second formula, which says to square it. Remember, when you square a negative number, you get a positive answer, and that's why our answer is 1. Hopefully the next question is pretty easy. It asks you what the slope of h of x equals negative 4x plus 3 is. When you have something that's written in slope-intercept form like that, it's just always the number next to x, and that's why it's negative 4. There was also a question, like some of them that you had in the assignment, that was asking you to identify b in the quadratic formula. B, of course, is the linear term. That means what would be by x if you wrote it out. And there's two things that are weird about this one. First of all, it's not written in the correct order, so you've got to look at the end to find that. And secondly, with that over 2, you have to divide everything by 2. So to find the linear term, I take negative 2 divided by 2, and I get negative 1. Finally, the last question, which has a negative exponent, and it also has an absolute value. The fact that it says absolute value tells me that my final answer is going to be positive, so I know for a fact it's not either of the bottom ones. The reason why it's 1/8 is because remember, when you take a negative exponent, it means you do the reciprocal. What's inside the absolute value would be the same as 1 over negative 2 cubed, or negative 1/8. And then the absolute value takes that and makes it positive. So 1/8 is the final answer. So you guys have probably figured out by now that we will be spending more than 4 weeks on online classes. The president said that we would be doing social distancing through the 30th of April, and probably that's when we're going to end up heading back, is the beginning of May. We are looking at being back in school for the last few weeks of the year. Good news is that with Easter coming up next weekend, we're not going to have a quiz this week. You will have a video coming up and some stuff that we want you to work on to get ready for what's coming up in the future, but we're not going to do a quiz this week. It'll just be sort of a short assignment, and then next week we'll get back into things. So we'll leave it at that for now and wish you guys a happy Holy Week, a happy Easter, and hopefully everything's going well with all of you guys, and we will get to see you about a month from now.